Hey guys, I just wanted to reach out to you and let you know that Surewinder is still selling amazing products. Some of you guys have been dragging your feet for whatever reason. If your shoulder hurts, do not waste time. Pull the trigger. I just bought 4 or 5 of them, and we had 2 guys out. You know how much it cost me to pay for 2 guys being out with bad shoulders? We just pulled the trigger and we said, listen, everybody's going to have one on a truck. It's mandatory. You got to use it. Don't hesitate. Don't wait till your guys go down. It's going to cost you more. Buy a Surewinder.
Hey guys, I am in my hotel room in Nashville, Tennessee, and I'm coming to you to do a podcast. Today's episode is going to be an interesting one. Excuse me. I'm still dealing with that little cough. Hopefully this ends in the next few years. So if I have to take a swig of water or coffee, please forgive me. I am at an SEO conference, and part of it is like a little underground meeting today, and then tomorrow is like the event. Got to spend a lot of time last night with one of my mentors and friends, Joey Hawkins, who does local SEO. So for all of you guys who want to kind of know where I get some of my ideas, along with there's other places too, but she puts a lot of really good content for local SEO and GDP. She's super smart and does a lot of case studies. So I will give you guys my notes of all of my takeaways from all of the meetings on the next episode. But today, someone asked me why I keep saying running a garage door company is so difficult compared to other companies, because he runs a door company and he's only run a door company. So keep in mind, if you're listening to this podcast for the first time, like, I didn't come from the garage door industry. I wasn't blue collar. I guess I am now. But I've been in sales and marketing my whole life, from automotive sales to technology, lead. I used to sell leads from a lead conglomerate out of California for a while, and got into garage doors, like one-man show, installing, servicing, selling, the whole bit. And I currently have, like, I think I counted yesterday, it's like 6 ventures, right? So I like to do a lot of different things. And I like income from a lot of different places. So I think some of that probably comes from just me losing everything. I'm a high risk, high tolerance for pain type of person. But I explained a few things to this guy, and I want to share these things with you, but I also want to add a few that I think is really important. And I'm not trying to depress you, because there's a spin to this at the end, so please hang in there. It's really important that you don't turn this off or leave before I get through these 10 reasons. Number one reason why I say garage door companies are really difficult is because Google makes it difficult for garage door companies. I can spin up a Google AdWord campaign in 5 minutes and have it running in an hour with any other industry. No verification needed, really. I mean, like, there's some like prove you are who you say you are type of thing, but like literally can have an AdWord campaign up and running in no time. All right. So next, and that includes Google Business Profiles. They're so much easier. Number 2, tons of competition and low barrier of entry. Like, who can't or like agree with that? It's horrible. I thought that just my simple marketing and sales background would help me dramatically with this. But quite frankly, I believe I think I would rather choose an industry that the barrier of entry is higher, because most companies where the barrier of entry is higher, people are going to appreciate what they do more because they're invested into it. And so they're going to charge more. And that was like the first thing for me that I really struggled with, was the price of what everyone's charging and how everybody like wants to go home and pound their chest and brag about doing things for cheap. I mean, yesterday I had a conversation with someone on next door. They had a double door, double spring. One was broken, and they got 2 quotes, they said, for $250. Now, I know that's probably just for one spring, I would hope, because I haven't seen $250 on a spring change since like the mid 90s or the mid 2000s when I started, like 2015. People were selling them for around there. But my guess is that they're doing one spring and then I guess coming back to do the other one later. I don't know. But the low barrier of entry definitely hurts. That's number 2. Number 3, you have very smart scammers in the garage door industry. Like, very smart scammers who can spin up websites and GVPs like nobody's business. And they have figured out ways to get them to stick. And some of these I cannot get removed. Like, will not remove them. Google just won't. So for that reason, this is probably part of the low barrier of entry, but massive amount of scammers. And then they're calling us to sell us the leads that we probably would have gotten had we just not had to deal with the scammers. Number 4, most of us start at 0 at the first of every month. So if you have a massive amount of overhead, no pun intended, you gotta sell like crazy and start at 0 on the first of every month. Now you might have a pipeline, but you don't have recurring revenue. And that hurts. Number 5, if we're understaffed or staffed just right, and someone gets sick, goes on vacation, has a death in the family, or a kid, we're kind of screwed. I don't know if I said that right. Or if they have a kid, right? Like a baby, whatever. And they go on maternity leave. We're screwed. We're screwed. Like, either we're jumping back in a truck or it's putting a ton more stress on the other people. Like, you're losing jobs. So for that reason, I feel like it's very difficult.
Hey guys, I found something that changed my business and I want to share it with you. We've created packages that have included some of the best products in our industry to offer our service customers. The heart of that package is Stealth Hardware Kit. Stealth Hardware is the quietest hinges on the market. I challenge you to buy at least one of these, test it for yourself. Put it on your truck and design a quiet performance package for your customers willing to pay for a better, smoother running door. Buy your Stealth Hardware Kit at Service Spring, do a search for quiet hinge, and then buy that. You can buy a double or single door, 7 or 8 foot tall, and promise you, it'll change your service forever.
Somer USA and Somer Group want to thank you for an incredible year and the trust you put in them and their products. As you know, Somer places high value on relationships, education, customer service, innovation, and professionalism. And they are grateful to you for your part in the fostering and dissemination of these values. If there is any way Somer can support you in your journey, whether through their products, the values they hold to, or the knowledge Somer has gained through interaction with door dealers across the world, please reach out to the team at your convenience. They are here to serve you. Again, thank you from the entire Somer team. Check them out at somerusa.com. Tell them Ryan sent you.
Number 6, I've reviewed hundreds of door company financials, and take out like the outliers. Most of that would be like early stage startups, and also like companies that have been around for a while and they're well run and they understand financials and they're very frugal. Take out take out 20%, which is the outliers, the low lows and the high highs. 80%, most likely, this isn't factual, this is rough estimate based on what I've seen. 80% of garage door companies run between 5 and 8% net profit. That's not a lot. Not a lot. Number 7, a lot of manufacturers send damage and don't really care about the cost to us. I don't even know what to say. I'm not going to hang out there. Number 8, we pay IDA to be our industry advocate and unite us and tackle big problems. But unlike other industries, our association doesn't really do those things unless a dealer is going to lead the charge. And I feel like there's so much bureaucracy built into it that even if they wanted to, they probably couldn't. I know I'm going to get some kickback for that one, but I don't really care. Somebody's got to speak up. Things are getting worse with the scammers, and they're really silent. Like, I'm just not seeing or hearing about it. And they're even letting some of the people who do some of the scammiest stuff in and speaking at their events and all kinds of stuff. It's crazy. Number 9, it costs significantly more than most industries to get leads, and our tickets are less than most of those industries. So let me just say that a little bit different. We have to pay more to get a lead, but our tickets are less than a lot of other industries. It's crazy. I'll give you an example of like how eye-opening this really is, because for a lot of my businesses, we don't spend a lot of money on marketing. We like kind of either live on SEO or social media or whatever. But for my door company, like we got to spend a massive amount of money. And when we launched Phantom Screens, I started running Facebook ads. And what was interesting was we were doing like, I think $8,000 jobs on a client acquisition cost of $13. That'll almost never happen in the garage door industry. And if it does, please let me know, because I need to know. All right, last one. God forbid an F-450 gets crashed into a van by an employee not paying attention, and instead of totaling it, they fix it. And then it stays in the shop forever. And then you get it back and you got transmission problems out of the gate. And now you're fighting with the insurance company to try to get it resolved, but they don't think that it's a crash issue. They think it's something else. So now you're paying $26,000 on a fairly new F-150 that's been very well taken care of. And no, I don't know anyone that this is happening to. It's just a random scenario. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer because I love my door company. Although all my other ventures are way more profitable and easier to run and easier to get customers and less saturated. And most of them have recurring revenue. But the purpose of this podcast is because I feel like it's justified to tell you that if you run a garage door company, you're resilient and tough as nails. If you run a door company and you've grown it to over 3 million, you've been lied to, stolen from, pulled back in the field a dozen times if you're not in the field still already. But one thing's for certain, and I'm going to step on your toes a little here, but I think you need to hear this. We make it way more difficult than it has to be. I see it all the time. We're tired of the pain, and we start bottlenecking the business to avoid growth because we are scared. And I think healthy growth without bottlenecks is the answer. We get stolen from, so we stop trusting people, so we bottleneck things. We don't want to train guys because we don't want them to turn into our competition, so we bottleneck things. We think about the pain that we go through in certain seasons and the frustration that we get from our spouses and family because we got to dive back into work, so we bottleneck things. But I don't think bottlenecking is the answer. I don't think you being involved is the answer. I genuinely think the answer is getting out of the way and focusing on what matters. And if you can work on streamlining things and proactively leading and developing your team to be leaders, and trying to take your financials from 5% to 6%, or 8% to 9%, or 10% to 11% net profit, because net profit's really the number that you should be measuring. You're resilient as hell. You've worked your butt off to do and get where you're at. But no one's going to give you a freaking trophy. It is lonely. It is tough. And you are in it alone for the most part. But you've accomplished so much. And I'm proud of you, because I'm going to tell you right now, it's hard. And you've done it. And you've done it somewhat well. Now you just need to get out of the way and hire good people, charge the right amount of money, and focus on the big picture. If you guys hate me, it's okay. Have a great week.